Hello and welcome. Welcome to another Lunch with Lisa. I'm Lisa Warner. I am the author of The Simplicity of Self Healing. It's a book I wrote after I allowed my body to heal itself naturally from cancer. And it's about what I learned along the way. So today, I wanted to talk about our DNA because our DNA is getting upgraded. We have all learned, well, most of us learned in school that we have two strands of DNA. And while, yes, this is true, those are the two physical strands of DNA. There are also 10 non physical strands of DNA. We are multi-dimensional beings, which means we are both physical and non physical. Non physical is our eternal state of being, the soul, who we are as beings is non physical. That is the eternal part of who we are. Physicalness is an experience that we as the soul are having. When we incarnate into physical form, we don't stop being non physical. The physicalness does not take the place of the non physicalness. We are always non physical beings, beings of pure consciousness. We are beings of light. Any scientist will tell you that if you put any part of the physical body under a high enough power microscope, you'll get down to the point where you see there is only light. Our physical bodies are made of compressed, compact light that has turned into density. But it is light nonetheless. Light is both wavelength and particle. The particles of light condense into the physical form. The wavelengths are our consciousness, our divine intelligence. And right now, our DNA is getting an upgrade. Our divine intelligence is coming back online. We on this planet have been playing a game of duality, separation. We have been in a state of fallen consciousness for a very, very, very long time. This has been a game of free will where we can experiment in any way we choose. We can choose to go against natural law. We can choose to go against God. We can choose evil and crime and corruption, all of these things that are not normal to who we are as divine beings. As divine beings, we are pure love and light. That is the nature, it's the true essence of who we are. And when we stray from that essence, when we move into the realms of darkness, into the realms of shame and blame and guilt and fear and doubt and worry and anger and all of these lower frequency forms, we suffer because we are not being ourselves. We are being who we are not. So, the who we are not dark. We are not angry beings. We anger, fear, rage, resentment, war, poverty, devastation, destruction. These are not our natural states of being. So all of the dis-ease that we have been experiencing on this planet is the result of our fallen state of consciousness. It is the result of having most of our DNA turned off. When we are operating from only two strands of our DNA, we are operating at a severely reduced level of intelligence. It's not that we're stupid, it's just that we don't have access to all of the higher realms of intelligence when our DNA is offline. So, right now, what is happening is our DNA is being restored. So many of you who are listening to this right now are the light workers. You have come in here with more strands of DNA active. This is why, if you did not fall for the shenanigans of the past few years, this is why you were able to not fall prey to the shenanigans, because more of your DNA was turned on. This is the indigos, the star seeds, the crystal children, the rainbow children, all of the children who are being born now have their DNA fully activated. These are incoming avatar beings. These beings with DNA fully turned on are the ones who are going to lead this world back into the paradise that it was designed to be. Heaven on earth is the divine design for earth and all of humanity. So healing is happening as our DNA is being restored. As multidimensional beings, being both physical and non-physical. We are body, mind, and soul. Those three parts of ourselves cannot be separated, even though the world has tried its best to separate us. It has given the body is the realm of the doctors and big pharma, and the mind is the realm of the educational system, and the soul is the realm of the church. Those three parts of ourselves have been separated, but only in our consciousness, only in the mind, only where we have been taught that these things are separate. Now we are allowing all of our parts and pieces to come back together. So more and more strands of our DNA are being activated. The more strands of DNA that we have activated, the more light we hold in our bodies, and the more awareness we have. With every strand of DNA, we start to have access to more and more layers of consciousness, more and more dimensions of consciousness. The more dimensions we have awareness of, the greater the database we have to draw from. With only the physical strands of DNA active and only having the database of knowledge that we have been taught, we're drawing from a very limited database of knowledge. If we're only drawing from the things that we have been directly taught or have directly assumed from looking at the world around us and being told that these are the rules and you got to follow the rules and this is how it works, then we live inside this box, this false prison, this here are all of the rules make up the cage, and now we have to live inside the cage. We have to do what we're told with what we're given as the rules. Follow the rules and you won't get in trouble. Follow the rules, do what you're told. And we live in this little box. And it becomes increasingly uncomfortable inside this little box of stuff that we've been taught. We're not here, we are infinite beings. We are not here to live inside a little box of rules. The box of rules of how we're supposed to be and who we're supposed to be and what we're supposed to do and when we're supposed to do it all of those things, the more we do the things that don't feel right inside, the less we listen to our own inner guidance, the more and more uncomfortable we become. And the more uncomfortable we are inside, the more dis-ease we experience. Our bodies, when are experiencing sufficient dis-ease within ourselves, the cells start to mutate, they start to change, they start to adapt to the signals that are being sent. Our bodies are not being attacked by diseases. Our bodies are responding to our dis-ease. And when we're operating from only a portion of who we are operating at very limited capacity. So with only 2 or 3 or 4 strands of DNA active, we're operating at only about a third of our true capacity. So dis-ease is literally the only option. This is why very, very few people live these amazing, beautiful, fantastic lives. It's because the fall of consciousness has brought all of humanity down to a very limited capacity to create. Our living life force energy is being siphoned off, right? We have become this worker population where, we go to work to get money and then we give most of the money back to the government. it's we're just slaves to the system, and slaves to the system can't possibly be radiant and healthy and vibrant and alive because that's not the nature of slaves to the system. And so right now, we are going through a massive humanity-wide upgrade in our DNA. All these levels and layers are starting to be turned back on. You may notice that you are starting to feel a little bit differently in your body. Maybe you're starting to feel a little bit lighter. Maybe you're starting to have some, more aha moments. If not, that's still okay. Like you're still getting the upgrades, but you may not have trained your consciousness to really notice yet. And everyone is exactly where they're designed to be. You can't be, missing the boat. Nobody's going to get left behind. But just know that we are going through this major upgrade and everything is going to be changing on this planet, including how the healthcare system works, because the healthcare system looks only at the 2 physical strands and the physical body. It does not look at the mind or the soul or how all of those things are quantum entangled. What happens to one affects all the different parts of ourselves. So as our DNA is being upgraded, healing symptoms may occur. And what are those healing symptoms? Healing is uncomfortable. So healing symptoms could be pain, discomfort, fever, could be uh, feeling like you have a cold or the flu. These are all healing symptoms. People talk about ascension symptoms. Yes, as our bodies upgrade, we are ascending. We are starting to become more and more light. Our vibration is starting to raise. We are turning our bodies back into light. And the healing happens, but the healing is the uncomfortable part. Somehow, I used to have this idea that healing is just like, oh, like just every single day, my body feels better until, wow, I feel great. Well, yes, And no, healing is literally the hard part. Healing is the body reconstructing itself. Anytime you do any sort of construction or reconstruction, just think about building a house, renovating a house. There's banging, there's sawing, there's noise, there's dust, there's dirt, that's the hard part. The reconstructing is difficult. It's the exact same process for our physical bodies. Reconstruction is healing. That's what healing actually is. Healing is the reconstruction, bringing the body back to its original form. So, as we go through this shift of consciousness, as we go through these next years, as our DNA is being turned back on and upgraded, you can expect these symptoms to arise. But don't mistake healing for being sick. It's not what's happening. If we simply assume that we are sick, that's what will play out. If we assume that we are being attacked by diseases, that's what will play out. However, when we start to understand that healing is the hard part, that diseases are not what's happening to our bodies are actually healing. When we shift our consciousness and we look from a different direction, we start to trust the process. We stop fighting what's going on in our bodies, and we start to embrace the upgrades that are actually occurring. So, as you move through this process, shifting consciousness is part of the healing process. Opening up our awareness as we open up these new layers of DNA. It's all part of the process. So expect upgrades. Expect to start seeing from a different perspective. Allow yourself to start seeing from a different perspective. And allow yourself to start noticing your multidimensionality. Allow yourself to notice, what are you thinking? What are you feeling? What emotions are you experiencing? What would you like to have happen? You are the creator. You can create anything you desire. But if you create from what you've been taught, you can only create what you've been taught to create. So these are extremely exciting times as we, as humanity, as a huge group, are going through these upgrades in our DNA. Humanity is being restored. Our divinity is being restored, reactivated. So we are being returned to our true nature as divine beings of light. It's probably not going to be just a smooth and easy path. So we can expect some bumps. We can expect some sudden changes in the external world. We can start to see systems being broken down, falling apart. It may start to look like chaos, but it's not. It's actually all part of the healing process. It's all part of the reconstructing of our consciousness, the reactivation of our divinity. Because we are here to create heaven on earth, not what has been created in the past, which is the opposite of that. We are here to move through the opposite and move back into our natural design. So I hope this was helpful to you. If you would like to know more, I have a new knowledge share area that is open, and I have 3 classes in there so far. I will be teaching all of my new content from my knowledge share area. There's a private membership area. Go to my website and you will find out more about it. You can go to go.connectingyoutoyou.com and you'll find out more about that, about my knowledge share, how that works, and how you can become a member for free. And also, I am now on Instagram. Woohoo! Just dipping my toe in there, but please start following me on Instagram. I'd like to build more of a platform there as well. So thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful, and I look forward to seeing you on the next Lunch with Lisa. Until then, create for yourselves a great week because you can. Bye for now.